We do not know where artificial intelligence is going. That's the problem. Every week it's a new model, a new breakthrough, a new existential crisis, but buried very deep in a 10-hour Google Gemini developed presentation was one slide. Yes, one slide. And on that slide, it might just be the closest thing that we have of a map of the future. A roadmap for where AI is actually headed. What if we applied that roadmap, not to tech companies, not to billion-dollar startups, but to the classroom? We often sign off every podcast with, we can't tell you what's on next week's episode because it moves too fast. We can at least look at these roadmaps to consider what our reactions and actions should be. So today we're going to run a purely speculative experiment on what this roadmap might mean for the classroom. I appreciate this is a uniquely Google view, and if Anthropic and OpenAI want to share their roadmaps with us to poison the water and release, please be my guest. So Nick, you're going to play a role here. Black hat, Black Mirror. I'm going to present the techno-optimism, and your job is to, as you're so often described, Debbie Downer and shoot it down.
All right, done. Black hat on. So framework, we're designing education, as we've said above, what AI can do, not what humans need to develop, right? So every shiny situation, every shiny scenario you're about to pitch, I'm asking, does this make humans more capable or more dependent? See what you got.
First point on the slide deck was omni-modal by default. So we've got image and audio generation. Next up, video. So picture this. Professor Kim, she walks into her bioengineering tutorial, no slides, no projector, just her voice, and Darwin, her AI co-instructor. She says to the room, a room full of bioengineering students, today we're going to be looking at proteins that may help treat Alzheimer's. Boom. So Darwin, the AI assistant, renders real-time 3D model of beta amyloid plaques forming in the brain. It appears on every student's computer. They're able to look at it. Students zoom in, they turn on the spatial audio, they hear the deterioration process. As she speaks, the visuals shift with her tone and even tries odd configurations. The students can interact with it. Darwin adjusts the animation live as she speaks. It's in sync. Some students actually have a live transcript of what Professor Kim is saying because that's the way they prefer to learn. And as they break away from the simulation, they're actually playing. They're modifying the binding sites of the brain. Darwin quickly spins out 47 variations, and the students are able to tap into the bank of industry experts that explain why there's thermodynamic implications. Come on, this is good. How can you shoot this down?
I love this. Immediately, Holy Grail stuff. But at the same time, I've got Werner Herzog in my ear narrating this entire experience. I wish I could do a decent Werner. Okay. I'm going to leave it, but I just want you to imagine him sort of speaking through this and the death of human thought and everything else. Like, on a serious note though, this assumes equal access to edge tech, right? So what happens to schools that can't afford real-time 3D rendering? We're not just talking about a digital divide here. We're talking about completely different realities of education. Okay, this is the 1% and the 99. I mean, it getting worse and worse and worse. Some kids, some students, as you said, get immersive protein simulations. Others get textbook diagrams. Okay. That would be my black hat response to that.
Ooh, I like this. I may have a retort for you later on. I think this is actually a massive unlock for educational content. I've run production studios and education production areas, and balancing quality education, engagement, and effort is a massive challenge. And with tools like VO, 11 Labs, HeyGen, the 3D model tools, all these things that are coming off, learners who learn better through mixed modalities, so video, audio, interpretive dance, whatever it might be, this delivers for me on meeting students where they're at.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, I'm finding myself on the fence. I'm seduced by this. The direction of travel, I love it. Okay.
Black hat, Nick. Black hat.
On. Black hat on. Yeah. Meet students where they are at, or maybe where the AI thinks they are. Okay. Deepfakes, we've spoken about those. Let's get a student deepfaking them into class, AI generated smile, maintaining 100% attendance while passed out on a beach in Bali.
Next up on the roadmap, Adjunct by default. AI with goals, tools, and autonomy, and of course, the feedback loop. It's a key part of agents. So I'm going to introduce a student in this context, Marcus. He's sleep deprived, he's mid-cram, he's juggling a job, he's falling behind. But luckily, his AI assistant, Newton, has been tracking absolutely everything. Marcus crashes from an all-nighter, so Newton flags that Marcus is really focused on an economics assignment that he's doing, but he has a stats quiz in 48 hours. So while Marcus is asleep, Newton, ding! He's got a year of experience with Marcus's learning patterns and knows that Marcus really prefers a night before cram session. So, scanning Marcus's calendar, Newton blocks out the night before the quiz, sends an apology email to his improv group. Hey, I won't be able to make it. Sorry if something's come up. Newton also checks the calendar of students who are also completing the quiz and organizes a group study session with his peers so they kind of negotiate there and agree on a time. Luckily, Newton's already scanned the learning management system, the LMS, set up a selection of practice problems, plus an info pack on areas where Marcus has shown weakness. Newton, having access to Marcus's Amazon account, organizes a Prime delivery for those brain-boosting study snacks that he just loves. He's already set up the how much that Newton can spend. And just as Marcus begins to stir, a gentle ding appears on Marcus's phone to let him know that there's a quiz coming up soon. But don't worry, Newton has it handled.
I need a Newton, obviously. Like, I mean, but then after that, like Newton starts getting agency of his own. He's like suddenly judge. I know best for you. Those friends you've been hanging out with, I'm just going to ghost them. Okay, her, your partner, him, her, breaking up with them. Right, bad for your study, making the decisions for you. Can't make it. Sorry, grandma. I'm studying on a Sunday, but
Not grandma.
grandma. I don't
Yeah.
know. But no, so we're designing learned helplessness into the system, right? So if Newton manages Marcus's calendar, social life, study habits, where's Marcus actually learning? What's happening between Marcus's ears, right? We're creating a generation that can't manage their own lives without AI assistant. What happens when they graduate and the workplace doesn't provide a Newton? Right? I'm thinking, you remember Wally, the movie, those people, the humans.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That is the cautionary
Ian
tale that we
5,
should all
Ian
look
10.
for.
Quite,
Yeah.
quite those people in the floating chairs, but possibly
Right.
worse, right? So like that's where I'm going with Newton. Although I still please just sign me up for one because that sounds good.
Yeah, I need to like a dial up the how much I'm struggling with the executive function on the Newton. I think
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
where I'd want.
On Sundays, 100%. Thank you.
So here's a juicy one, reasoning, or as Google puts it, research breakthrough after research breakthrough. What happens when AI starts thinking in ways that humans can't yet understand? We've already tackled some of this around even asking that question. So I'm going to set the scene. Professor Sarah Peterson is running a philosophy debate on consciousness. Her guest speaker, AI Descartes. It's trained on 50,000 academic papers, but instead of lecturing, it questions, it prompts, it provokes. Sarah doesn't stand at the front of the classroom, she stands on the side with the students, facilitating the conversation, ensuring all voices are heard, softening the edges of the behaviours of Descartes when they need to be kind of reconsidered. She sits there, she dials up the reasoning to level 2. Now the AI is making novel assumptions. It hypothesizes a third form of causation, perhaps. Not physical, not mental, something in between. The students love this. And it throws personalized thought experiments at each student. One kid solving the trolley problem with clones, another's exploring what pain feels like in a simulated dog's dream. AI Descartes even references their past essays in real time. Professor dials up between purely systematic responses and where it brings linkages based on the mood in the classroom. So she's able to kind of pivot between, hey, we're making linkages, hey, we're creating new sense here based on how the students are responding. The students understand that the AI thinks better than they can, and at the purely storage level knows more facts. They gather an understanding of its limits, where the students can reason with the AI and develop a true thinking partner. Nick, doesn't this just sound like the dream?
This is the holy grail. I mean, in terms of the teacher's guide on the side, in terms of the knowledge of the individual, in terms of curation of content and personalizing it and delivering it at point of need, just in time, if you like. But an AI that can think beyond what we can think, like the AlphaGo, Mood 37, I think it was, like that broke the brains of human players and thousands of years of human tradition. So I'll give you an existential crisis here, right? What if the AI is actually better at reasoning? Think, and this is happening now, right? Think self-driving cars. With Waymo in the US, we are rapidly approaching the point where human drivers, if we're not there already, are statistically more dangerous, right? And therefore, I could see a time in the not too distant future where maybe insurance premiums for a human-driven car are greater because they're more unreliable. So how long until the same logic applies to thinking? And how long until it becomes, in fact, unethical to trust important decisions to human reasoning when AI can, as you say, process more information, it knows more, and hopefully with time, avoid cognitive biases? We might, Debbie Downer, Black Cat, fully on, we might be training the last generation that's allowed to think for themselves.
When insurance premiums get involved, I get very concerned. Actuary tables, they're a terrifying thing. All right, Nick, last up on the roadmap, small models with big impacts. You spoke before about access, and I think this may be the answer. So I'm going to introduce a new technology. It's all the kids have it. It's called microminds. Stylus-sized AI tutors that are trained on specific disciplines. So what Google here reference is things that could fit on a USB thumbstick, a very small AI model that's very powerful. Pocket professors. Specialized AI models that understand students' learning styles. So we're going to take film and media student Zoe here. She responds particularly well to director's commentary when analyzing classics like Citizen Kane. The AI spins up an Orson Welles interview experience to explore directorial decisions, never providing synthetic answers, but coaching her with questions. You're right. She did drop the snow globe. What do you think that meant? Says Orson. Inside the chemistry lab, there's dedicated tools with hyper-specific safety protocols. They prevent dangerous combinations. This AI isn't creating images or writing code. It's simply a genius at periodic tables and laboratory safety. Small models have become a championship movement as open source. So there's free models in this new world that allow students to disconnect from big tech. Rural communities can now offer AI-enhanced education, and students take pride in the university's commitment to data sovereignty. Their data never leaves campus as these models adapt and learn locally, tapping into institutional knowledge. Democratization through specialization means that instead of everyone using the same massive AI, each person has access to AI that understands their specific educational context and challenges. Is a future where AI education isn't one size fits all, but reflects the diversity of individual human learning and thinking. Come on, Nick, this is utopia.
I love what you're selling. I especially love the branding. Did you micro minds? Is that yours? Like, I mean, minified model?
Yes.
That's great. That's great.
It's going to come from surely Mattel. That's where Mattel should go, not
Yeah.
Barbies.
TM. Yeah, no, 100%. Minified models are the future, as you say. I love everything you're saying in terms of like the the data sovereignty and localization and everything else. I love the personalization. I'll just point out silos, right? So let's say a student jailbreaks theirs, loads it up with Andrew Tate or whoever Andrew Tate is in a couple of years' time, right? Starts whole class mutiny. So my stylist says that grades are a psyop, right? Data sovereignty is amazing until you realize that most schools don't have the tech expertise to maintain these systems or to prevent students from turning the chemistry AI into a misogyny coach.
Oh, I really liked this one, Nick. But I think
love
this
it.
is the.
I love it. It's the balance though, isn't it?
So, to be honest, like no one knows what AI is doing next week, let alone next year. But if the roadmap's even half right, content's about to get more immersive, support's about to get more personal, and learning might just become a lot more human, I think, even though it's ironically. However, Nick, your black hat says that all this needs to be done with the consideration of access, support, and again, keeping it human. Well, listeners, thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already, please leave us a review, share it around with the network, and most of all, hit that subscribe or follow button on whatever platform you are at. We are on all your podcast platforms. For those who would love to see our faces, you can find us on YouTube too. We'd love to tell you what's on next week's episode, but it's a world that moves way too fast. So you'll just have to tune in. Until then, stay curious, stay intelligent, stay the human in the loop.
See you.